I want to talk a little bit about XRP. Some people may be invested in it, some may not. I actually really considered trying to invest in this pretty heavily when I first entered the crypto space at the beginning of the year, simply because that I thought it was the next step for mass adoption, and that still may be the case to some degree. I think most cryptocurrencies out there are peer-to-peer. They're all forks of Bitcoin. So the use cases, they're similar to some regard from each one, I think, because they all need the blockchain. But who they're catering to is one thing to consider. Who their main audience is, and who's going to be the one that's going to be benefiting the most from it, and what real-world case is really going to be needed for mass adoption. So the businesses and institutions, we can all agree that they are the biggest investors in the crypto space that will trigger the mass adoption. So most people are going to be rushing to the crypto space, and as bad as it sounds, it is greed. It's not for the tech. I think we've all figured that out. And to some degree, it's like, yes, you are rewarded for your contribution. At the same time, are people really in the space just for the tech? Maybe. I'm not actually a professional as far as computer coding goes. I do have work experience in the financial sector, and I know this would directly affect the way that my business runs. I want to keep it somewhat anonymous, but dealing with XRP though, this is something that people do need to consider though, as much as they hate it and as much as it stands against what people go to, what Satoshi Nakamoto first visualized. I'm sure there's a massive use case difference as far as what he envisioned will happen and what may end up happening. And what I have really thought and considered was, okay, well, is mass adoption amongst institutions and using cryptocurrency coins such as XRP something that's absolutely needed? And I think XRP and Bitcoin will probably be pretty big competitors here in the next few years, especially if XRP does end up acquiring or replacing the SWIFT system, the interbank payment system that United States have been using since the 1970s. If you think about it, it's 50 years old. It's about time to move to a different system, but we just haven't had the technology yet. Will it save institutions money? Absolutely. I don't know how much institutions are actually spending as far as the transfer of payments goes. I've heard it's in the trillions of dollars, but I have also read in other articles that they're saving maybe 70 to 80% of transfer fee costs in that transfer system. And it's instantaneous. Payments settle within, I think, it says 5 to 7 seconds, as opposed to 5 to 7 business days. So there's a massive difference, and there's a massive potential there. But as with anything I want to share, and hopefully we'll share in the future videos, this is only my personal opinion and not any financial advice whatsoever. So I will be interested to see if anyone has any more opinions on it. And my future videos, I think a lot of people can set up their webcam, and they can use a computer interface to show which articles they're reading through. But my computer, I've been using it since 2010, so it's over 8 years old, and I don't really have the software or the patience to deal with that. So I'm just going to riddle off a few thoughts in a few minutes in some of my videos. But thank you for watching. Bye.